Hope you're having a great Wednesday, everybody. Meteorologist Kelly Foster here, tracking Invest 93L. Right now, it is moving right along the shoreline of the Florida Panhandle in between Tallahassee and Panama City. You can see the flare-up of storms right now located to the south and southwest of this. It is really kind of struggling right now because it is interacting with land, and it is going to continue to track westward today. That's what the models are showing across the Panhandle beaches. Right now, it's just too close to land for further development at this point. And for our stretch of the Gulf Coast, we're going to be tracking squalls with additional rounds of rain as we head on into the later part of today. We'll begin to see those squalls and then those rounds of rain moving in for your Thursday and Friday. We're not talking washouts from start to finish, but those rounds of rain that really can collect. So there will be some flooding concerns. So as we take a look at our tropical headlines, we do know that this Invest 93L, it's an Invest because the National Hurricane Center labels it that because it is an area of investigation and allows it to put those spaghetti models on there and those model runs that help determine where it could go. But for today, it is going to continue to cruise right along the shoreline, the beaches of the Florida Panhandle. And regardless of development, we are going to be dealing with some tropical rain and downpours that could lead to flooding concerns Thursday into Friday. And it's also going to turn up the risk of rip currents for our stretch of the Gulf Coast. Anytime we get a system in the Gulf or really kind of cranking things up, the risk of rip currents goes up, the surf goes up. So we definitely want you to stay up to date to the forecast. The National Hurricane Center is still keeping a 40% formation chance on this. It's still a medium chance that we could see development. Now, as we take a look at the spaghetti models, I want to kind of zoom in a little bit to show you what we're seeing here. And you can see that we are looking at the majority of the models continuing to move towards the west, moving just right along, if not south of Destin, Pensacola, Gulf Shores. And then once we hit kind of Mobile Bay, Mississippi Sound area, notice we're looking at just kind of a cluster of the models there kind of lining up just offshore. And the problem is once this begins to dip into the warm waters of the Gulf, there would be a small window for this to develop further. It's very unorganized, and these models are, of course, shifting. So this is a look at the latest model run. We do have two outliers that just kind of keep this moving west and then curving it towards the north and west and just kind of cutting across parts of Alabama. So we do know this is going to bring us some rain. We do know that it's moving west, and right now a lot of the models are taking it towards Louisiana. So we're going to watch it. We want you to be prepared for those downpours. In fact, we do have the risk of excessive rainfall, and I'll show you that coming up. That will be beginning today for the next couple of days. But in terms of how much rainwater we could collect from the system, well, right now it looks like our coastal zones could see about 4 inches of rain. Isolated areas could go to about 5 inches of rain. Across the Panhandle over towards Pensacola, about 2 to 3, and for our inland zones, less rain at this point, about 1 to 2 inches of rain. And of course, rain totals will be changing, just dependent upon how much rain we get. If we just kind of get the sporadic rain, it may not really collect a whole lot, or if this begins to get a little bit more organized, slows down a little bit, repeats over the same areas, we could be looking at more in certain spots. There's a look at our Boulevard Tower cam, and here in Mobile it's heating up. It's going to continue to heat up. We will see some squalls from the system a little bit later today that will help take the edge off the heat a little bit. And you know how those squalls are. They come in and they can really drop quite a bit of rain, but they're very fast. As we take a look at our Pensacola Beach cam, notice things are quiet here. We'll have that low risk of rip currents for today. It will go to moderate as we head into this evening, and then we do expect a high risk of rip currents for your Thursday and Friday. So be prepared for that. Our coverage today is going to be at about 70%, and that's going to be kind of a late day event. And then we're going to go to 80% for Thursday and Friday, and then we're going to step it back as we take it into the weekend of more typical summertime style scattered showers. So notice the wet weather will definitely move in from the east to west as we continue to track that disturbance. as we head on into tonight. Notice we're still going to be looking at those showers and storms, and then we're going to be watching what happens with that system very closely. The heat index today should spike to about 108 for Mobile, 106 Pensacola, 105 Dauphin Island, Gulf Shores. We could even go to 109 for Calvert, 103 for Fort Walton Beach. There's a look at that excessive rainfall risk. I've been wanting to show you this, and this is primarily for our coastal counties today. It's a level 1 that we would see excessive rainfall, but then as we head on into Thursday, notice the southwest corner of the NBC15 neighborhood, coastal Mobile, coastal Baldwin County, south of I-10 will be under a level 2, a slight risk of seeing excessive rainfall. And then on Friday, it's primarily the western zones of our viewing area, also including southwest Mobile County, and then the rest of us will be under that level 1 risk of seeing excessive rainfall. So this is just, of course, dependent upon the system. So with the risk of rip currents, it is going to go to moderate later today, and then a high risk for your Thursday and Friday. And I really want to encourage you to definitely not go for a swim. Again, we're not talking about washouts with these tropical downpours, meaning it's not going to be just coming down very heavy, pouring rain from start to finish. It's going to be waves of rain. So for those that head to the beach, of course, we're going to have that onshore flow. The waves are going to go up as well. But we definitely want you to stay out of the waters. When there's a high risk of rip currents, even the most experienced swimmers can't fight the power of a rip current. And by the way, if you ever find yourself trapped in a rip current, swim parallel to the shoreline, and in time you will swim out of it. Try to alert someone. If you get too tired, flip over on your back and float, and in time you will float out of it. Just don't try to swim directly back to shore, because the current will be too strong, and that's how drownings happen. So always know what the rip current risk is at the beach you're at. If you have any questions, ask the lifeguard. So high today is going to go to 94 due to the additional cloud cover and those waves of rain for Thursday and Friday. We will see highs in the upper 80s, lower 90s over the weekend. We may even go back some on this rain coverage, 60% Saturday, 40% Sunday, but highs are going to be back to more seasonal readings for the weekend, and wake-up temperatures will hold in the mid-70s. All right, everybody, I'm meteorologist Kelly Foster. Stay tuned into the forecast. We're going to continue to track Invest 93L, and again, there is that medium chance that it could become a tropical depression, or a very small window it could become Tropical Storm Dexter. We're watching it, so check back with us. Make it a great Wednesday.